So, like before we actually begin the session, to all the people who have joined to listen to us and specifically listen to all the speakers from Symbiosis Law School Pune. Let us actually focus more on the college. Let us get to know more about their experiences rather than focusing more on SLAT today. What happens when the dates will be announced? What will happen? Whether it will happen from center or not? Whether the dates will be extended? All of these are matters of speculation, which again, no point that we get into that as of now. Whatever happens, we are anyway prepared. I think I hope so that you guys are prepared by now. So now we'll focus more on the college and everything. So I think we have a good number of participants to start off. So now let me actually extend a very warm welcome to all the speakers for today's session. And let me start with the introduction. So we have Mansi Desai, who's a fourth year BA LLB student at SLS Pune, Symbiosis Law School Pune. We have Utkarshini Anand with us, who is a third year BBA LLB student of Symbiosis Law School Pune. We have Khyati Sharma, who is a second year BBA LLB student again from SLS Pune. And we have Dhruv Bhartiya, who is a first year BA LLB student. Guys, requesting you to just quickly introduce yourself, please. Starting with Mansi.
Hello everyone, I am Mansi Desai. I am currently in my fourth year pursuing BA LLB honors at SLS Pune. And yeah, so what all do you want me to cover in this?
All right, that's fine. That's absolutely fine, Mansi. Thank you. Utkarshini, can you just introduce quickly yourself? Maybe where are you from?
Hello everyone, a very warm good morning, good evening first of all. I'm in my third year of BBLLB course and I'm from Patna. And I'll be talking more about my experience and everything, but for now I hope you all have a very nice session with us.
Thanks Utkarshini. Moving on to Khyati.
Hello everyone, this is Khyati Sharma from Symbiosis Law School Pune. I'm in my second year and I'm doing BBLLB honors from SLS Pune. I come from Ghaziabad and I've lived at different places in India, so it's very hard to actually pinpoint where I come from. And yeah, I hope you all are staying safe in these really hard times.
All right, so we have a final speaker for the day, which is Dhruv.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Dhruv, and I'm a first-year BLLB student at Symbiosis. I'm from Mumbai, and I hope you guys have a productive session.
Great, great. So now that we have introduced all our speakers, let me actually extend once again a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so very much, for taking out the time and being here, having a talk about your university, your experiences. Over the course of this session, I'll be asking you certain questions. What I feel is important for the aspirants as of now who are in maybe 11th grade or 12th grade, thinking of pursuing law as a career and maybe a little confused about where to go, which college to target, which whether Symbiosis Law School Pune is actually good enough or not. All those questions I think should be answered for them. Their queries ought to be addressed. So thank you for your time that you have taken out today. So now let's actually begin, and we'll very quickly let me ask all of you, starting with maybe again Mansi. I would start as to Mansi, how was your preparational journey for SLAT examination like? How did you actually prepare?
Okay, so see, firstly, since currently I'm in my fourth year, when I gave the entrance test for Symbiosis, it was actually called SET, Symbiosis Entrance Test. It wasn't even called SLAT. So I feel like the experience shared by the students who are there in their first and second year would be much more helpful, because I mean, it was so long ago, but still I can give you a few tips which helped me in my preparation for SLAT or SET as we refer to it at that point in time. So firstly, I was actually a student of IMS itself, and I applied for SET as well. And that year, I remember the paper for SET was quite simple. I mean, I was preparing for CLAT simultaneously. So whatever, I mean, obviously, whatever we prepare for CLAT, all of it gets covered in SET as well, right? So firstly, coming to GK section, obviously there's no, there's no other way to go about it. You have to read your current affairs, you have to read newspapers, you have to be up to date as to what all is happening around the world. I used to refer to this magazine called Pratyogita Darpan. Then there was GK Today. Then there was current affairs. I don't remember what it was called. Okay. So there are all these websites available online. You can refer to all of that. So there's no going around as to preparation of GK, right? You have to read everything. You have to know. Then when it comes to legal reasoning, I actually sat down and read the entire contracts. The basic concepts about contracts. I read basic concepts about torts and IPC. Under IPC, what is a theft? What constitutes as murder, homicide? So I actually sat down and I actually read those legal provisions. And then when it comes to the questions which are being asked in SET, there's no again, like you will have to sit and solve as many questions as possible, and that is what will in the end help you prepare for your legal reasoning part. But one thing I noticed was that because I actually sat and read down basic provisions about contracts and torts, it also helped me in my first year in Symbiosis because it kind of cleared my basics. So, I didn't have as much difficulty in catching up in my first year because all those basic provisions are being reiterated in first year as well. So that is one advantage you have if you actually sit and read all those provisions as opposed to just, solving questions. Then logical reasoning also, you'll have to sit and solve as many questions as possible. Practice makes a man perfect. So, as refer to the study material which is being provided to you, or maybe refer to additional books which are available online. There are so many books available on Amazon. I used to order them. I used to sit and solve them. Then apart from that, maths also. So I was a science student. I had maths as a subject. And yeah, maths also, you have to sit and solve the questions. And again, practice is what will in the end help you. And maths from set point of view was actually, it was pretty simple as compared to CLAT that year. Uh, that was about preparing for exams as such. And when it comes to my experience for PIVAT, uh, so PIVAT consists of two components, right? The essay and the interview. So essay is based on, general topics. Like my topic then was triple talaq. Then a few of my batchmates had received some other general topics. And it was quite easy, the essay part. And when it comes to the interview was also quite general. For interview, number one thing is that you need to prepare your CV. So before that, I'd never prepared a CV. In fact, that was the first time I even prepared a CV. So in the CV, you include your extracurricular, co-curricular, etc. And interview is also general. They'll firstly ask you why you're pursuing law in the first place. Why did you apply to Symbiosis? Then other general questions like, what are your hobbies, interests, and what do you want to pursue after law? Like, do you want to become a judge or do you want to get into academics? It's, general questions about you. So, PIVAT is also, it depends on you as a person. And one thing I noticed about Symbiosis is that because so many students all across the country are applying, so this is what I felt, that there's talent everywhere. Each and every single person is good at something or the other, be it oratory, be it academics, be it extracurriculars like dancing, singing, sports, something or the other. Because the entire entrance part itself is designed in such a way so that the talent gets highlighted and those who really deserve to be here get selected. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Mansu. That was a great answer. I think the key takeaways were that you had to bear the brunt of mathematics, but fortunately now mathematics is no more there in the SLAT pattern, so students will not be, they will not have to actually go through the trouble of appearing for mathematics section. But yes, what you indeed said about reading a lot of current affairs from different sources, that absolutely I think would any which way help you while you're writing written assessment test. So actually now coming to Utkarshini, having trained her myself, I think I had just graduated from my law school, and I was I was she was one of my students, and I know her since a very long time now. So Utkarshini, you took a gap year after your 12th. So
Yes.
how was your preparational journey about taking that gap year? Like what was that mental space that you were in? And secondly, how did you actually prepare for your personal interview?
Okay, sir. So I think first of all, Mansi has covered a lot of it. So I think it was from my batch that SLAT started happening. I got done with my 12th back in 2017, and I appeared for SLAT that year as well for set, I would say. Uh, but because I did not have sufficient time to prepare for any entrance test, because my 12th boards got over around April or May end, and then we had back-to-back entrance tests in May. So I did not get sufficient time, not even a proper time of 1 month. So whatever I could prepare, I did. I got one of the institutes, but I was not so willing to go there, as many of us are aspiring here to go to Symbiosis Pune. Even I was really willing to be there. So that's why I took a year's drop. But as you just mentioned about the mental space, it was a little skeptic, because you see your friends getting into colleges and being somewhere where we all were aspiring to be, and I had to take a year's drop. So it was first of all a very skeptic step, but I would say that my parents were really supportive of the fact that okay, take your time and then be where you want to be. It shouldn't be in a hurry, because ultimately where I am today, I feel it's worth the wait. So yes. And about the preparation, I would say, as Mansi has already covered most of it, but personal interview is a lot about how you present yourself, because there you are not a law student. You've mere done a certain period of coaching, and then you are going there where you've not only studied legal aspect, but you've studied other aspects like comprehension, legal reasoning, English, GK, all of it. So it's not that you are specifically trained in that area where you will go and they will ask technical questions. It's more to do with your whole outlook towards that whole scenario, because interviews, to be honest, can be very intimidating at times, but it is your composure, your calm, and your I think your command on whatever you're saying. So there were a few questions that were posed towards me which I did not know, to be honest, and they were like typical legal questions. So it like later on when I met those faculties, I came to know that it wasn't to judge my knowledge, but it was just to ascertain how confident I can be and how reasonable I can be. So if I did not know an answer to a question, I said no, and they were absolutely fine with it, because they know their subject pretty well, and you shouldn't go there and bluff them. So whatever you know, you talk about that, and they're really appreciative of the fact that how honest you can be. So that was about my interview. And about preparation in general, as Mansi told, just be very persistent and very regular with what you do. I think what made that 1 year gap very beneficial for me is that I have a habit of being constant. It's like I can't just read one thing in a day and then go the next day and just make everything go perfect. It has to be a continuous process. So continuous reading, continuous mocks, continuous feedbacks from faculties. I took many feedbacks from you about how am I going. So that is one thing that plays a very big role in your overall preparation for exams. So yeah, that
Oh,
was my experience.
all right, great. So now I think I would come to Khyati, and I have a very pinpointed question for you. So, how did you actually prepare? Like, how would you say that your overall preparation was for your written assessment test? We have heard a lot about general preparation for the entrance examination, personal interview, but what is it, and how do you actually be prepared for a written assessment test? How many topics do they give, and with do you have an option of choosing a topic that you want to write? How do you approach it, and in general, like, how do you prepare yourself for it? Because there could be topics from anywhere under the sun. So how do you prepare for it?
So it's basically about the, see, it can be sometimes they're very general topics. I, for some reason, like don't remember what the topics were and what the topic I wrote, because it has been like 2 years now. But yeah, but I do remember that they're like very general topics. Like one can be like very general, like for example, when you prepare for the SLAT in Toto, you just don't like just read only the to the point current affairs. You, like, I as a person, like used to watch UPSC videos for some reason, to like expand the kind of in-depth knowledge of each and every current affair. And I also took like I had a friend in Symbiosis already who was actually in media college from my school. He got me connected to a like second year person, and he told me that okay, they'll be very like general current affairs related topic, like what's going on in the legal era, right? Like of that time, like for example, right now, what are the landmark judgments, right? At our time, Sabrimala was a very hot issue. The LGBTQ, the judgment came and everything, and the adultery wala issue was there. Okay, so like we were like to the point prepared about those issues. And I guess there was one of those issues in the assessment, and there were some general issues as well. So I guess there was an option. Like I guess Dhruv would know better because he has just given the exam. It has been 2 years now, but yeah. So like these are the topics that do come.
All right. So coming to Dhruv, and Dhruv, I have a very, very peculiar question for you, which none of the speakers had experienced in their time. How was it taking SLAT from home?
I was actually expecting that question in the whole COVID scenario. So I'm supposing it will be similar this year as well if COVID does not get better. So taking an entrance exam from home was, taking any kind of exam from home was something none of us were privy to. Am I audible?
Dhruv, you can be a little louder.
Okay, sure.
Voice.
Yeah. So taking an entrance exam from home, first of all, you prepare for months, you prepare for weeks, months, years, whatever you guys have been preparing for. And when the D-Day finally comes, let's say tomorrow you have your exam, tonight you'll be preparing, tonight maybe you'll be relaxing, you'll be thinking about all your concepts. Tomorrow before the exam you get ready, but then you will have this very strong feeling of anxiety, you'll have this very strong heavy chested feeling, and until the minute the exam starts, that feeling will not go away. And it is perfectly fine, you guys will manage it. But as soon as the exam starts, your mind will automatically go and it will forget about the anxiety feeling, and it will just pay attention to the questions. You'll read the question, you'll answer the question, and that's it. Before you know it, the exam will be over, and you just have to just apply your logic, and you'll be, if you're well prepared, then you'll give it easily.
So was it an added pressure to take the examination from home, or was it more comfortable?
So for me personally, I think it was an added pressure because I had actually gone to give ALIT to the center. ALIT was center based but online, and SLAT was home based and online. So I got to experience both. And personally, I felt that giving the exam from home was more like, it gave more pressure on me because I did not see anyone around me. When you're at the center, you see everyone is getting frustrated, everyone is getting that anxiety. But at home, it's just you alone in the room, and your camera is on. So there's no one to look at or anything.
No external factor to
Exactly.
maybe
You're
help
very
you.
self-conscious then. You're very self-conscious. So, I mean, I used to just keep fidgeting, or I used to keep moving my leg. But, for many people, it was better because some people who are not, that concerned with spaces, those who have a good space at home, those who are comfortable with their own laptop and their own space, for them, it was perfect.
All right. So if I have to, the key takeaway from all the answers here would be that you need to prepare very sincerely for your logical reasoning. Keep reading newspapers. That is going to help you in your reading comprehension. Going to help you in your current affairs. You have to read the basics of your, legal reasoning from the materials that you're referring to, because that is not only going to help you in the entrance examination, but is also going to help you in the first year of law school. So that is something which will always help you. With respect to personal interview, don't don't try to bluff the interviewers. They can see right through you. Be very honest to them. It's more about your confidence and your personality rather than your knowledge, testing their knowledge, because they very well know that you can't know all the laws at that point in time. You are actually going to law school to study law from them. You can't be expected to know everything and then come to them. So then written assessment test is something that you keep yourself updated with current affairs. There would be general topics, there would be some specific topics. The more you read, the better you are at it. Reading certain essays available online would always help you. Reading editorials is something that will help you, as Khyati said. And like, again, we do not really know as to whether it is going to happen home based computer test or center based computer test. We have no clue as of now. They will take a call basing upon the situation outside, which is completely in no one's control actually. So be it from home or at center, yes, you will have to manage your emotions very well. You'll have to be very, very, like Dhruv said, once that clock starts and when that clock finishes, you will not know anything in between as to what is happening or not, but you need to manage your emotions well. You might not be able to see anyone struggling with questions or answers, but it's all about how you manage your time well in order to ace the examination. So great answers, all of you. I think it was quite invigorating with respect to all the students preparing for the examination. So now let me actually come to a very important question, which a lot of students have this in mind, is how is life at Symbiosis Law School Pune? Why is it that one should aspire to go to SLS Pune? And I think I would start again with Mansi, who has seen the maximum duration, is in a penultimate year of law school. So over to you, Mansi.
Okay, so when it comes to life at SLS Pune itself, I mean, I feel like Pune has this very thrilling culture. I mean, see, now when it comes to other NLUs, they have their own campuses. But Symbiosis, if you look at the building, it's actually just a building. It's not like a sprawling campus with lawns and everything. But then we have a saying amongst ourselves that the entire Viman Nagar is our campus, because Symbiosis Pune is based in Viman Nagar. So, and Viman Nagar is a very happening place. And back when we were in Pune, I mean, I have so many memories, I have so many experiences. Then we had this, the Viman skies are really beautiful. I think I think Utkarshini has a few photos to share as well regarding that. Then, I mean, nothing can replace the kind of experience I had there in Viman and in the past 3 years. And but yeah, I mean, we not just me actually, my batchmates also miss going to Pune. So actually, when I came back here home, I stay in Mumbai currently, so I can go back to Pune at any time. And in the past 1 year, I've been to Pune twice. And when I actually went back to Viman Nagar, when I actually went back to college, it looked so depressing because none of the Symbiosis students were there, and Viman Nagar basically looked empty. So it was a little disappointing to see college and Viman Nagar in that state. But yeah, I mean, overall experience, it was amazing. I have so many memories associated with college and spending time with friends and everything. And when it comes to academics also, Symbiosis has a very rigorous curriculum. They cover so how the curriculum is organized is that you will cover most of the important subjects, be it contract torts, IPC, criminal procedure code, CPC, evidence. All of these important subjects get covered in the first 3 years of your law school if you get into Symbiosis. So I mean, I feel like the first 3 years are very rigorous, and I mean, we have a lot of assignments, a lot of internals. But then when it comes to 4th year, the focus shifts from the learning of the laws to application, because this is the time when we actually start implementing whatever we have learned over the past 3 years, and we start doing so many internships. We focus on our career more than focusing on learning the laws. So, which is why I felt like when it comes to academics and curriculum, 4th year was relatively easier as compared to the past 3 years. I mean, first, second, third year. And I think the students from first, second, third year would also add on to that, I'm sure. So yeah, that was it. Thank you.
So Mansi, I believe you have some photos to share. I
Yeah.
think it would be the right time that students, the aspirants can see a glimpse of your law school journey so far.
Yes, sure. I'll share the photo.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay.
So a little bit of story, a background story as well.
Okay, just give me one moment. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so here you can see this is what our class looked like. So the entire batch consists of say what 300, 400 students, and it is divided into 5 divisions. So I was in division A, and this is what our classroom looked like. So this is actually this picture was taken when we were having a small classroom activity, and you can see small chits on our forehead because I mean that was a part of the activity, and the professor is standing behind the students. Also, you'll notice that everyone is in black and white. So actually, when I was in my first, second, third year, if I'd opened my wardrobe, it was full of black and white clothes, and the other casual clothes were, very limited. So yeah, we had to wear black and white every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Wednesdays and Saturdays, we could wear colored clothes. But yeah, and this is okay. Yeah, this is a picture of the guest lecture that was happening. So we have a lot of guest lectures going on, like where speakers from all across the world come forth and share their experiences, share their knowledge. So this was a lecture about Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, because my course was BA LLB, right? So we studied Merchant of Venice as part of BA. And this is what my room looked like. So Symbiosis only has a girls' hostel apparently, and a boys' hostel is also being constructed. But I mean, majority of the girls stay in hostel, but boys have to stay somewhere else. So I mean, that is one. And this is what my room looked like. It was a triple sharing room. This is my part of the room. And this photo is about a fun activity which we were having. We used to have game nights in our rooms, used to play cards and sing and dance and have all sorts of experiences in the hostel. And this is a picture of the mess. And this was actually taken on Independence Day. So on all these occasions like Independence Day, Diwali, etc., they would decorate the mess and they would prepare special food for us.
A general question here, actually, Mansi, how is the food? How do you
Yes.
like that
Oh,
food?
coming to that. Oh, yes. So actually, I feel like the food is much better as compared to hostels in a lot of other colleges across the country. I mean, when it comes to hygiene and everything, it's much better as compared to a lot of other colleges. But then, the thing is that when we are staying there in hostel and we're not used to that kind of taste, so it becomes boring after a point in time. And a lot of hostel residents used to keep complaining about the kind
See,
of food.
hostel food is not something that you like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a global rule.
Exactly. So I mean, we did keep complaining about the hostel food time and again, but in general, if you looked at our hostel food, it was much better as compared to the food you get in a lot of other colleges across country. So that was one consolation.
I am sure it must be better than my college.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other question, or should I move on?
No, move ahead.
Okay.
So if you have some other photos to show. Okay, so this I see you guys are preparing for something.
Yeah, so actually this is a table tennis table in our hostel. And the fun story is that this TT table was never used for playing TT. We would always prepare for our exams or our moots on this table. This picture is about, this was one day before moot, and all of us were sitting and preparing together on our laptops. So yeah. And this is a picture of the dome area. We call this place the dome area. And there were a few tables near the dome area. So you can see all these tables. So this picture was taken one day before our memorial submission for our moot, and the atmosphere used to be very tense when it comes to memo submission and oral pleadings of moot. So right now, I don't think you should be concerned about what is a moot and what are oral pleadings, etc. So in Symbiosis, you get an exposure to moot in first year itself. I mean, it is explained to all the first year what is a moot, what is expected, etc., etc. And yeah.
So basic training is given to students, right, in the law school.
Yeah. Basic. I'm sure. I'm sure Dhruv can share much more light on that.
Right.
Yeah. And this is what this is a picture of the moot court hall. So this is where the finals of the SICTA would take place. SICTA is nothing but Symbiosis International Criminal Trial Advocacy. So
Right.
this is actually a competition which Symbiosis organizes for other law schools to participate in. Like teams from different law colleges across the country would come and participate in this competition, which is organized by our law school. And this is where the finals of that would take place. It is a trial advocacy, right? So you can see the witness stands and the chairs where the judges would sit. But otherwise, this room is generally used for guest lectures. You can see a foreign visiting faculty. Her name was Rebecca Todd. She used to come and give moot court orientations to us.
Right.
And this is actually the SBA room. SBA is Student Bar Association. Student Bar Association is like the moot court association of our college. So actually, once you enter law school, you'll realize mooting is a very important part of law school. I mean, I keep telling this to my juniors. I mean, mooting is undoubtedly the best law school experience you can get to have. And this is what the Student Bar Association looks like. You can see all those trophies which are kept in the background. So it's a reflection of all the moot competitions that our college has won. I mean, especially in the last 1 year, our college has performed such, it has received such laurels in not just national, but international moot courts as well. So there is this moot court called Stetson International Environment Law Moot Court Competition, which is organized by Stetson University. And there, our college stood runners up in the world rounds. Then there is Louis Brown International International Client Counseling, and there also our college was runners up in the world rounds. Then there is Jessup national rounds. The person from our college got the best speaker, and second best speaker was also from our college. Then there is another competition called Oxford Prize Media Law Competition. In that, our college won the national rounds. And in the world rounds, we came semi-finalists. So you can see, I mean, Symbiosis has had such exemplary achievements when it comes to mooting in the past 1 year. And you can see a reflection of that with all those trophies in this room.
Right.
And this is actually a picture of SICTA, Symbiosis International Criminal Trial Advocacy. So this is what a moot court would actually look like. I mean, you can see the judges are sitting on the left side, and there's the counsel who's pleading before the judges on the dais, and the opposite counsel, the defense, is sitting there. So since SICTA is a trial advocacy, so there are firstly two types of moot courts. First is trial advocacy, and another is normal moot court. In a trial advocacy, we have witnesses and everything. And you can see the person in orange kurta, he is actually a witness and he's giving a really dramatic performance. And the counsel is also amused with his performance as a witness. So this is what a moot court would look like. And it's a very thrilling experience. It's undoubtedly, according to me, the best part of a law school experience.
I completely agree. I completely agree with Mansi. Having been invited to my alma mater as a judge for one of the national trial advocacy myself, they had called me to judge that event, and it was actually very fun. Since I was not on the other side, arguing, so I think it was more easier and more fun for me to have a good bird's eye view and have fun with all the various arguments, asking questions. So indeed, I agree, and that actually helps you grow better. Even as a judge, I had to do a lot of research, do a lot of reading before I actually went ahead and sat alongside an actual judge, to be very honest. So it was a great experience for me and for the participants as well. So, all right. So, I think I would move to Utkarshni, who's a very fond of Pune as a place. So, I think I would ask this question to Utkarshni as to how Pune is. How do you have you become a Puneri person or not in 3 years?
I definitely have. First of all, I have to say I'm extremely nostalgic right now, even though it's just 3 years and I still have 2 years left. But all those pictures were just reminiscence of the whole uh, journey that I've had till now, and it was just so beautiful. Pune as a place is so comforting. So first of all, coming from a place like Patna, obviously Patna is a smaller place. I won't say it's as developed as Delhi or Bombay or all of those places. Or even in general, I would say any person who is going out to college, leaving his or her comfort zone in his parents or the family, friends, everything, and going to a new place all on his own. So there are a lot of apprehensions, how the people would be, how the city would be, how your college mates would be. But this place is so comforting. Pune as a place is so comforting. It just runs on its own pace. So we see so many places running, like legit running, but this place has its own pace and it's just so beautiful. So I'll try sharing some pictures if I can.
Surely, sure.
Yeah. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So this is one of the pictures which I took from the GAN Gallery. So GAN Gallery is a place in the college where when you just have to get away from all the chaos of the college and just find a quiet place to be at. So
So
this
that's
is
your
where,
hangout zone.
yeah, kind of, where we go to study and just to, we don't want any kind of disturbance around. So suppose we have an internal at 4 and it's 9 in the morning and we have a lot of chaos going on in the college. So this is the place where we would escape to and just try to study. So this is a sunset picture. Viman skies are just beautiful. This is another picture which I took. This is from my hostel, if I'm not wrong. Uh, Again, another beautiful evening. I and yeah, you can see all of these things. So yeah, it's just a beautiful place to be at, and I think the people in general also are very nice, like the Pune people. But talking about people in the college, we all come from different backgrounds, different cities. But I think Symbiosis has a culture which is very inclusive, and at the end of the day, you kind of change when you are there. Even if like I've always been an introvert, but when I went there, I won't say that I've changed into an extrovert, but yes, I've come to a level where I can call myself an ambivert. So I talk to people and I like interacting with people. So it's a whole new thing which you will experience when you'll be there. And till now, what I've experienced is just a holistic experience, be it academically, be it personally, be it um, having friends and people around the places. So the whole Viman Nagar is ours, as we say. So yes, it's a very nice experience. Academically, I would say first 3 years have been very crucial because they kind of create your base for the rest of your law school or even your law journey, which you'll pursue ahead. And yeah, as far as moot courts are concerned, I personally have done two moots and they've been very nice. The college is very supportive of us. They give you a whole research team and they have supervisors allotted for you, so that you can work under proper guidance. Even the first years who have the novice elimination challenge, which is NME, if I'm not wrong. So that is where also where we have our seniors coming in, then professionals coming in, and then we properly get to know what is a moot. So it's not like we just go out there and start doing and start mooting. It's like we get properly trained, be it basics of drafting or be it oral pleadings, be it anything. Symbiosis is there to have your back. So yeah,
All
that
right,
would be
all
my.
right. So one thing that is a key takeaway from here is had Utkarshni not become a lawyer, she would have definitely become a pilot. So moving on to Khyati now. So Khyati, you come from Ghaziabad, right? And how has your experience been while interacting with people at Symbiosis Pune and gelling up with them? Have you made some really very good friends for life at college?
Yeah, I would say I have. And when it comes to like college, you'll realize one thing: you'll have a lot of friends, like the people you interact with on daily basis, maybe for like an assignment or something, and you have different people for different purposes, right? But then you will find, like, by the end of your first year, maybe in your second year, that the one or two people in your life that they're gonna stick with you forever, like they're gonna be there for you, like those some people your law school life will revolve around. So that's what it is all about, because when you're so away from your home, your family, everything, you just need people out there. You just need people who actually become your family. Like, there's this friend of mine, she's from UAE, right? She come from Dubai, like so far away, and she's become like such a good friend to me. Like, she's almost like a mother to me, right? So yeah. Yeah,
We
so
all have we all have those father
yeah.
figures. I myself was an uncle figure, so I completely get that.
Yeah, so that happens. Like, I wouldn't survive without her, so yeah.
So Kathy, do you agree that it was a worthy decision for you to have come from Ghaziabad to Pune?
See, like, you asking the aspect of the college or the city?
No, of course, with respect to the college.
Yeah, of course. Symbiosis has some of the very competitive people you'll find around. They're so competitive in nature. Like, competition is in the air. Like, because, as Mansi Di already pointed out, let's say we don't call seniors like in our college Di or Bhaiya or whatever, but I respect her so much. I idolize her, so I call her Di, right? So because the whole process is like that, they'll see your certificates and everything during interview rounds. They'll see your knowledge, they'll see your confidence. Okay, that's the main thing. So there are people who are so good at debating, some people are so good at mooting, and the people who have that particular niche in different areas, and they're just like, you feel like, oh my god, I want to do this, I want to do that too, because there are a lot of things happening all around the college. There will be a seminar at 11, but you also have, like, there are other meeting of some committee you have to join, or lot of things going simultaneous. You have to decide. First year is all about deciding that what kind of activities and everything you want to indulge in college. So yeah, it's a very happening college, very competitive, very smart people.
All right. So Dhruv, coming to you, you cracked the SLAT examination, the most recent. You cracked it in 2020, somewhere around October, November, in the month of October, November of 2020, if I'm not wrong. So slightly around that time. Uh, and you have not set your foot in the college so far. You have no idea what is the hanging zone, what is Viman Nagar, what is that area. You have not felt that. How would you describe your experience of being inducted to SLS Pune absolutely virtually? How has that journey been?
Right. So one would expect that in online college wouldn't be one would expect online college wouldn't be it will be boring. I mean, looking at the screen and you're being inducted into college, you're watching your lectures, it will just feel like school. Like right now, the people who are in 12th, they're just having online lectures, they're in school. But the one thing which I think is the best thing about our college is the seniors. The seniors are amazing people, and we have this system. It's called a buddy system sort of thing, where the first years they're connected to fourth years, and you have a group of people, and a fourth year will be allotted to you, and they'll help you out with anything you need. And except other than that, you have committees, you have student bodies, you have various cells, and from that you get to talking with second years, third years, fourth years, to the extent of fifth years also. So the best part is the seniors care about you a lot. And this past few months we had our fest, annual fest Simbhav, and all of us first years we were having FOMO all the time. We saw many videos of physical Simbhav happening, but in the end the amount of work we did, the amount of work seniors got out of us, we spent nights on video conference at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just working out Simbhav events. And at the end, the seniors made tons of videos with all of us, and we made tons of memories, and that was the most amazing part.
Okay, so that even that virtual interaction has not, or rather, this virtual interface has not stopped students and administration of Symbiosis Pune to you call it in your millennial terms FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. You have not experienced that, and that is very good. So, Aja Dhruv, again, one more question to you. How has been tackling, since it has been, for you, it has been very, very recent, having cracked the entrance exam and got into the college and, facing everything virtually. How do you think your entire, academic year has been like? I think it's about to end the first year.
Right. So our second semester started in the month of April, I think. Right. So it's been around 1.5 months since our second semester started. And so, like Khyati was mentioning, that it's a very competitive curve. You have your lectures, and after the lectures, you have your committee meetings, you have competitions. Every single week, I'm sure we get tons of bulk mails. All of us gets mail. All of us get like 10 mails a day from the college. And out of those 10 mails, at least 1 or 2 mails will be about a guest lecture or a conference or a competition which you can participate in. Most of the times first years are mandated to attend the guest lectures, and they're very helpful. So till now, I think with the moot and everything also, they organize many guest lectures. Foreign faculty come in, and till now I think it's been what 5-6 months in college, and I've already attended around 50 guest lectures. So that is the level of the academic rigor which the college offers. And even though it's online, the competitiveness I feel has just increased in my batch, because each and every person even if they haven't done MUNs or debates or anything before, after stepping into college, the college will promote that and inculcate those habits into you, because that is a very important part of law. I mean, in the legal profession, you have to argue, you have to debate, you have to think that way. And all our the way our academic structure is, in BLB, so we have different subjects, we have contracts, torts, especially what I feel, history of law has been a very important part, because understanding history is what how you don't make mistakes later, you don't repeat them. So that way, I feel the mindset you get by studying all of this, especially in Symbiosis Law School, I don't know what other law schools, I think that is unmatched. I don't think you can experience that elsewhere.
All right. So key takeaway from all these questions is Symbiosis Law School Pune is very competitive, which is in fact all of you say is good as well, because that pushes you to be the best version of yourself. So it's very competitive. Academically, it's very rigorous. You have a lot of guest lectures. You have your seminars. You have your regular classes. You have your assignments, which again keeps you engaged and does not give you a lot of time to just volley around and waste away here and there. So that way, again, it is something which keeps you occupied all the time. And like Mansi showed and gave us so much of detail about the moot courts that are happening, the student bar association, and they engaging everyone to take part in moot courts, performing. But Karshni, coming to the fact that a lot of you guys are also allocated certain resources, guides, and researchers to help you with your preparation when you go out there to perform in some moot court or something of that sort. The interesting part, of course, was, and a lot of people had been actually asking this in the YouTube chat window, to ask Dhruv as to how was his experience, with respect to virtual learning, induction, everything. And I'm pretty glad to know it from him. Again, having trained him the last year, I know Dhruv a little personally. So for him to have been inducted so well, having him being gelled up with the seniors, which I completely agree. Seniors are one of the most important threads of a law school life. So that way, if you see that induction has been very well for through. Fair point. So I think any one of you would like to share. So I think Mansi has already shared a lot of her experience with respect to moots and events. Any one of you, maybe want to share some experience about any events or seminar? Utkarshni, I remember vaguely last year in 2019, I guess I had a chat with you. You had gone for some client counseling or lok adalat, something of that sort. If maybe you could just shed some light on that.
Yes, sir. So we keep, so this is a kind of a part of our curriculum itself, that we have constant visit to the district courts, and we have the Sassoon Hospital where we went to this adoption center to understand the adoption laws. It was a part of our family law lecture, and these visits actually help you to understand the subject in a more practical way. Like I remember we went to the Shivaji district court, and there we were, the whole point was, it was a part of our legal skills lecture, and the whole how proceedings there take place and how things work in a district court. So getting a practical experience there makes it even more clearer and gives a better insight into the subject. So that is one thing. Apart from that, I've been engaged in the I am a part of the student advisory board. So we have the student bar association, we have the student advisory board. Student advisory board is a student body which has various committees. So we have numerous committees and cells in our college, and the student advisory board is a main board where we have different committees like organizing committee, academic committee, cultural committee, sports committee, and PR, and so many of them. So I am in the organizing committee, and it has been an amazing experience. I think you get to interact with so many people, you get to learn about their experiences. And I think one thing which you said, I think while you were just summarizing the whole thing up, that it gives you no space to, you know, it just keeps you very engaged. It doesn't give you time to, sit alone and think about things. So especially when you're going from home. So I personally am a very homesick person. I was a homesick person, I would say. But because I went and I was like, what will I do? How will I manage things? But this college just engaged me within a matter of few days. I think I had so many assignments. I had my novice elimination moot coming up. I had the committee interviews. I had so many things around. So it just keeps you engaged. And I think that is one of the best part about Symbiosis, that it has so much to give that you don't have time to do something that you're not willing to do. So yeah, that's my experience.
I just
Okay.
add on to her.
Huh.
Yeah, so as all of you were discussing, Symbiosis has a very rigorous academic culture as well. There will be so many assignments and internals and everything. But I feel like as a lawyer, number one thing that you need to learn is to be able to manage stress. And when you have so many assignments and internals and moots and God knows what, you are able to learn to work under stress, and you learn how to give your best performance while you're under so much stress and anxiety. So I think that is something that is one of the key takeaways for me from the last 3 years, that I learned a skill which will be very important for me when I become a lawyer.
Yeah, I would definitely agree to on that.
Right. Fair point. I completely agree with you. The more you learn in law school to manage your time and manage your overall stress levels is something which no one is going to teach you in your real life. So law school is actually that base where you learn all of that. So I think one quick question that I would actually ask Mansi would be about the placement, because that is something which a lot of students have been asking in the YouTube chat box. That what about placements? I completely agree. You are in the penultimate year. You have one year to land up with placements, or you might have some other plans altogether. But how is the placements of Symbiosis Law School today?
So actually, to be very honest with you, actually, Symbiosis placement is quite good when under ordinary circumstances. But right now, to be very honest with you, I think all of us are struggling because there's a crunch in the job market itself, because there are not many openings. But I feel despite that, Symbiosis is trying to make best efforts to include everyone to ensure that opportunities are available for us as well. I mean, we keep getting regular updates from, we have a career and professional development cell in our college, and we keep getting regular updates from them as to various job openings or internship opportunities and everything. And I myself have done 1 or 2 internships through the career and professional development cell. And it's not necessary to go through the CPD, as we call it. It's not necessary to apply through CPD itself. You can also apply by yourself. And so far, I've done 9 to 10 internships. So in law school, after the end of every semester, you get to intern for at least for a minimum period of 1 month. And so starting from my first year itself, I've been continuously interning. And so far, I've done 9 to 10 internships. And right now, obviously, I'm focusing more on my job and career aspects. And I feel career and professional development cell is, trying to ensure that opportunities are available. But I don't think Symbiosis itself can do anything, especially considering the current circumstances where there's a shortage of job opportunities and everything.
No, I completely agree with what you're saying. Yes, everyone is, the entire economy has, suffered because of this pandemic. And, I think, but then again, the fact is that college is making the efforts, right?
So I feel, a few of the CLAT aspirants and SLAT aspirants might be thinking that, when you get into NLUs, you get a job, job at a tier 1 firm is guaranteed. It's nothing like that. I feel like when it comes to tier 1 firms, so for those of you who are not aware what a tier 1 firm is, tier 1 firm are all these Cyril Amachan Mangaldas, Shardul Amachan Mangaldas, AZB, Khaitan, Trilegal.
Basically all the best law firms in the country, right?
So I feel like there's no distinction as such between an NLU and a Symbiosis graduate, because even if I had the opportunity of interning at Cyril Amachan Mangaldas in October itself, it was a virtual internship. And even while I was interning there were at least 1 or 2 Symbiosis students besides all the other NLU students as well. And even in the team I was working, there were Symbiosis associates from Symbiosis as well. There are partners at these firms from Symbiosis. So Symbiosis has also been able to make a name for itself at these top tier firms, and not just top tier firms, but legal field in general.
No, absolutely, I agree. Symbiosis Law School Pune is absolutely A+ category law school of our country. It's amongst the one of the best law schools that India can offer, our country can offer. So again, one important question, maybe to Utkarshni for that matter, does Symbiosis provide you help with getting internships?
Yes, that's what Mansi just mentioned. Right now, we have many opportunities coming from the college through the CPD, and currently, I think it was just yesterday when I applied for one of the internships. So we have many internships coming in right now, especially when the whole situation is at such a turbulent stage, and we can't just. So personally, I've applied to many places, but since there is lack of openings and people are not accepting interns at this moment, the college is trying its best to give us with internship opportunities. I think we get at least 4 or 5 internship opportunities in a span of 10 to 15 days. That's on an average. So I think the college from its end, is doing its best to ensure that we are not deprived of any kind of experience that we would have had if things were back normal.
Right. So again, Dhruv, I think a quick, your feedback on the virtual fest that happened, your annual fest, and what is it called? What all things happened? Because a lot of people are, very concerned about whether this law school life is all studying, or is it also some fun and frolic?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you turn I cannot turn on my video. Khyati here.
Just a minute. I think I think you can now, Khyati. You can turn your video. We lost you because of some network issue.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes. So Dhruv, coming back to your virtual, fest, maybe.
Right. So for organizing the fest, like Utkarshni mentioned that we have various
Can you
committees.
be a little loud because I
Right,
don't think you're very audible properly.
right. Am I audible now?
Slightly better, yes.
Okay, I'll speak a bit louder. So while organizing the fest, we have various different committees, and you have the marketing committee, you have registrations, and many different departments. So you get to choose which department you want to work in, and the departments are headed by your seniors, second years, third years, fourth years. So on the online fest part, we had meetings every day. We figured online fest, it won't be that much fun. We won't get to experience the physical fests at all. So physical fest, we have many pro nights, as we call it, where we call DJs and they perform and stuff. And I have seen many videos of seniors have shown us many videos regarding that. But this time in the online fest, it was extremely well organized. It was one of the best and most professional fests I've seen online. And so we developed our own kind of platform. So you like right now we're conducting this call on Zoom. Otherwise, there are other virtual platforms for Symbiosis, Symbiosis particular fest online this year. We developed our own software, we developed our own platform, and we held all the events on that. And I think we reached a footfall of over 1,500 or something students who were viewing our cultural fest. So it was quite amazing. Even I was heading an event myself. I was and the college gave us many opportunities for first years. They gave us opportunities to head particular events, which generally first years don't get. But we did get that opportunity, and I participated in that. We organized many events, and it was quite amazing.
Okay, so one question again, Dhruv, you have, because this is a repeated question, since you have appeared most recently, uh, how did you prepare for SLAT and your written assessment?
Right. So preparing for SLAT, I think it was quite similar to what today the students would be preparing for, because I did it online towards the beginning of the pandemic, right? So we had a lecture. I was a student of IMS itself, so we had our lectures. The most important part, I think, like everyone has said, is GK. You need to memorize, you need to read about current affairs every single day. I had downloaded a couple of apps. We used to read newspapers every day. If possible, if you have a friend who's preparing for a similar thing, sit down with them on a call every day, discuss ideas, discuss affairs which you study, so that it's not monotonous, and you have a bit of fun while learning as well. Legal reasoning, analytical, all this, if you have a good logical base, I'm sure you'll be able to crack it easily. PI BAT, so I was a science student, I was from ISC. Usually what topics we get in written ability tests are they're quite interpretive. So it's not, you don't have to take just like, there's no right or wrong stand. You can write out your own opinions, and sometimes you can write about both sides. So it is totally up to you. You just need to have that logical rigor in your mind. And in personal interview, it is very varying. It depends on upon your capacity. Many of my friends were asked GK questions in current affair questions in their PI, but I personally was not asked a single current affair question. I was asked all kinds of legal analysis questions which were pertinent at that time, like the Prashant Bhushan case and the Supreme Court collegium issue. So those are very opinionated, and you could speak freely and honestly with the uh, interviewers, and they honestly did respect that, and they gave their feedback to me. They said that you did well, and it was more of a discussion in the interview than an interview as well.
So basically, to aspiring aspirants, if I gather it correctly, you would say that your preparation for VAT and PI happens every day. The part that you read newspapers, the part that you update yourself with current affairs, and the way you present yourself, maybe in front of family members, your friends, that will all one day sum up and will help you in your PI round, which is not going to be very formal interview, but would be more like a semi-formal interaction between the panelists and you. If like anyone would like.
Definitely. Just one thing I might add. I think Khyati had mentioned that she used to watch UPSC interviews to just pass the time, and even I have watched quite many UPSC interviews on YouTube. And it will, I mean, I could suggest you guys to watch those too, because it helps quite a lot, because they talk about current affairs topics. Plus that interview, it is extremely professional. It is for the highest government jobs, right? So they're quite helpful. You should definitely watch them. They'll help you, build up your character. They'll help you think about different points of views, and you can display them in your interviews as well.
Right. Fair point. Fair point. So I think that sums up what we wanted to discuss. We actually lost Khyati in between. So Khyati, in one in one sentence, if you have to sum up your law school journey so far, how would you describe it?
It's a roller coaster ride.
You enjoying it?
There are ups, there are downs, but then it's thrilling. It has its own thrills. It's adventurous.
Fair point. What about you, Mansi? You're the most recent, now graduate. Are you a little worried about the job prospects, placements? What is it that you have your future goals set?
Maybe yes, maybe I'm a little worried about the job prospects right now, but I feel like Symbiosis has made me the person I am today, and I feel confident in myself that, I mean, despite all possible, as Khyati rightly described, it's a roller coaster ride. There's ups, there's downs, and I mean, all these ups and downs have made me the kind of person I am today, and I think I'll manage somehow.
I am sure that you will manage very well. Utkarshni, what about you? How would you describe your Simbi experience so far?
As I said, I'll call it a holistic experience, having the experience of everything, be it the pressure, be it the fun, be it all the laughters, the cries, all that we have had. It has made it all worthy of it. So yeah, a holistic and a wholesome experience.
All right. And Dhruv, if you have something to add, because I understand you are the most youngest of the lot, uh, but still.
Right. So just one thing, that Symbiosis will not will like all colleges, it will treat you as a student, but you would think that they are treating you as a professional, and that you have already started your legal career. That is how they will treat you, and that is how you will learn.
Okay, fair point, fair point. So I think what I have understood to all the aspirants now, let me very quickly address in some of the session. Having personally known Utkarshni and Dhruv, one thing that I can say about both of them, that they were very inquisitive, always having some thought processes going on, always having some questions, thinking. That was actually the crux of how I would summarize both of them, having interacted with them personally. Having interacted with Khyati and Mansi right through the session itself, one thing which I could gather of them is that both of them are very very hardworking. So I really don't know how inquisitive they are, but both of them seem to be very very hardworking in their law school life. One very good attitude that I found of Khyati is that she absolutely looks up to the senior, and very correct senior, I would say. Mansi, doing a lot of work, being a part of organizing committee of moot courts, taking part in moot courts herself, exploring every opportunity that the platform is providing. So this kind of relationship that both of you have, I think is going to nurture and help each of you. One, maybe you have a friend, and one, you have a someone you can always look up to. So in all, I think it has been a very good journey for all of you, being a part of all of you are you one day all of you would become a alumnus of Symbiosis Law School Pune, and I think it has actually transformed you in a very positive manner, and all that confidence that I can see brimming up in these people right from first year to fourth year of law school is something which is commendable, and I think for that I would sincerely thank Symbiosis Law School and all your faculty members, your director, and every staff, every administrative staff, every faculty who are teaching you. So big thanks to them in your journey. So with that, I think we sum up the session. A very, very warm thank you to all of you, Mansi, Utkarshini, Khyati, and Dhruv. Thank you, all of you, for joining today with us, having an interaction with our aspirants, and sharing your experiences, telling them about how you prepared. I'm sure that all these aspirants have attended the session, and someone who will be watching, a little while later will also again be would have gotten a lot of positives out of this session with respect to their preparation. So thank you again, thank you all of you. Hope to meet you all soon once the pandemic ends. I myself live in Pune, so we'll definitely try to catch up one day somewhere in Viman Nagar, wherever you people call me. And till then, stay safe. All the dear aspirants who are watching this session, please stay safe and take care of yourself. Happy studying, happy preparations, and yeah, goodbye, everyone.